Hey folks, Doctor Who is back, and so are we for another Doctor Who review, and this time it's episode 3 of Series 9, Under the Lake. And we've kind of had a lack of guests this week, but thankfully, I do have one person joining me.
Thankfully? Man, don't you mean unfortunately? Yeesh.
What I mean is I'm not going to be alone reviewing this, because that didn't work in Series 7. Fresno can't be here because he's ill, and Kat can't be here either, so it's just me and Kuchiri.
Which is funny, because the last time it was just Rainiac and I was Series 8, Episode 3.
Yeah, and then I fell ill and couldn't be in the next episode.
Which, that review was followed by Fresno, Kat, and Rainiac, which means next week is going to be Fresno and I doing the next episode. Spoiler alert!
If you predicted that, then quite frankly, burn the witch. Should we go back to talk about Under the Lake, because that's what we're here to do?
Oh, I thought it was called Waters on Earth.
That's your title for it. Was the Waters on Earth? Yeah, I see what you're getting at, but we should probably begin at the beginning, as the king said. So yeah, the opening sequence, bit different to the last couple, mainly because the Doctor wasn't in it at all.
Yeah, they focus on that crew. Basically, they're digging for oil, I guess, in some sort of flooded area. And they find a spaceship, which is probably the most bland spaceship I've ever seen.
I don't know. Have you not seen, 70s and 80s science fiction shows?
Yeah.
They were pretty bland. Anyway, continue.
But, they get on board, and of course, with anything else alien, they get on board to some sort of, station of some sort. Shit starts happening.
Yes, it does. And one of the crew gets toasted.
Toasty!
I knew you were going to do that. I knew you were going to do that. Yeah, the captain, I think his name is Moran, Jonathan Moran. Played by Colin McFarlane, who's the voice of the Cube, as I've already said in my video that you didn't watch about Series 9 because you didn't want to get spoilers. I can understand that. He was gone in the first 5 minutes of the episode. Except not really.
Is he really gone, though?
No, gone but not forgotten, because his ghost is still hanging around.
Yeah, so the monsters of this episode, we still have no idea what's going on. We're just going to call them the ghosts. Are these, beings with no eyes that say things that no one can hear, and they chase you around, and they try and hit you with chairs and axes, and for some reason they know how everything in the station works, so you can die from them. Yeah,
I mean, we need to be, we need to just hold back a bit here, because we don't still know whether they're ghosts or not. There's still an entire episode to go.
Yeah, two-parters in a row, which is really weird.
That will hopefully explain what the hell is going on with these ghosts. But I thought they were pretty creepy.
I thought they were creepy until they tried too hard with them being creepy.
They tried too hard with them being creepy?
Jumping to the middle of the episode, there was a scene where jumping into the episode, there's a scene where they're trying to capture them. And there's a shot of them inside the kitchen or dining area.
Oh, yes.
And one's halfway through the wall, but it's standing up straight, he's half in the wall, half not in the wall. One of them is standing on the side of the wall, parallel to the ground.
Yeah.
The other one's on top of the ceiling. The second I saw that, I was like, oh, God.
That was a bit, that kind of took you out a bit. But I did like the shot. It was just sort of, I think, establishment more of a threat.
I get what they were trying to do, but it just felt more silly than scary.
Yeah, I mean, the effect they've got with the hollow eyes, that's pretty good.
Oh, yeah. If that's all it was, where they just kind of teleported behind you and, did I don't want them to do jump scares per se, but if they tried to do that, 1 second, kind of deal.
Believe me, this show has done jump scares before.
Yeah, but I'm not saying I don't want it to be constantly jump scares, but I think I think the direction wanted them to be more silly than threat. I don't know. It's weird. I got the feeling that they weren't meant to be as scary, or if they were, I didn't see them as scary as previous monsters.
You say that, but they're still able to kill people.
very poorly.
Well, we think that we know for a fact that Ghost killed what's his face in the wetsuit, Pritchard.
Yeah, they knew all they had to do was hit a button to flood the room he was in.
Did anyone else get like Impossible Planet vibes out of that, where we've got like the supernatural force jettisoning someone out of an airlock to kill them?
Another thing I said in our Skype chat was this was very, very much like every scene had something that referenced Doctor Who, like in the past. Like, I don't know, something. First off, the whole premise is like waters on Mars.
There were a lot of references to the past, yeah.
The cue cards. Well, let's.
Oh, can we get to the cue cards later? Because that was fantastic.
Yeah. We can move. I thought they were. I don't know. I have my own things with the cue cards. I thought they were hilarious, but I thought how serious that scene was meant to be. It was done. I don't know.
I'm sorry, but I didn't know you didn't live in Aberdeen.
Which is a reference to the Fourth Doctor misplacing Sarah Jane Smith.
In Aberdeen, yes, I know.
And which was referenced again in Series 2 with Tennant, with Sarah Jane coming back in. And, yeah.
My favourite card, and I actually had to bring up a picture of this on my computer right now just to read it, because it's quite long, is no one is going to get eaten, /vaporized, /exterminated, /upgraded, /possessed, /mortally wounded, turned to jelly, we'll all get out of this unharmed. That's great writing. That is great writing.
Basically, I guess the Doctor has no idea when he's being the Doctor, he has no, like, sympathy with this version.
Yeah.
So when he does something that's very rude or uncaring, I guess Clara made cue cards for him to say to make him look more human.
And we go back to the idea of Clara being his carer, as was explored in Into the Dalek last series. She cares so I don't have to.
Which she was kind of weird this episode. She started this episode off, I want to find danger. I want adventure. I want, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, they're changing her again for her third series.
Man, you are just jumping all over the place, but that's fine. I can just about keep up. Yeah, Clara.
Sorry about
characterization, it's fine. It's fine.
I'm trying to bring us back to the start so we could go through this episode normally.
Clara's characterization, it's fine. We can do it whatever way you want. Wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey, it's fine. And now I owe Stephen Moffat £10.
Dude! Actually, wait. Wouldn't that be Russell T. Davis?
Well, it first showed up in Blink.
Was it Blake? Oh, okay.
Yeah, alright. I owe Russell T. Davis $22.99. Moving on. It's like if you say droids, you copyright the Disney. God damn it! No, I've done it again.
Good thing it's
not going to be able to take this episode. Can we move on before I'm completely broke, please? Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, Clara's characterization is a bit weird this time around. Because, as you say, yeah, she starts off saying, I want monsters and stuff blowing up. And she's just had an adventure where she was very nearly killed.
Multiple times, especially by the Doctor.
And Missy, but by the Doctor, on the insistence of Missy. And then you've got her being like a sort of I don't want to call her a party girl, reckless?
Yeah. Something's up, because they decided to completely change her from the end of Series 8 and the start of Series 9.
Well, we've already established back in Series 8 that she is an adventurous person. She is almost an addict. She's addicted to the adventures with the Doctor, and that kind of follows on here. And we kind of get a hint that maybe all this is not going to end well for Miss Oswald.
Clearly, which,
They are really pushing the force sharing down our throat here with there's only room here for one Doctor.
Yeah.
Oh, now are we going to read too much? Are we reading too much into that, or is that just like a throwaway line?
If our Canadian friend was there, he'll be doing this whole double mirror thing again.
He did that in his review, so I should probably mention that because he's not here. You've got Clara being a mirror of the Doctor, and then you've got a dark mirror of the Doctor as a ghost. And we'll get to that when we talk about the end of the episode. Because I've got a couple of problems with that.
which we could talk about when we talk about
the
what
ending.
made
Yeah,
the
yeah.
next-
But you've mentioned Clara, but do you think she actually did much in this episode?
Yes and no. She
Is-
didn't have that much of an impact, but she did have enough screen time to give the feeling that she had some impact.
Is there a danger that she's kind of being pushed to the side a bit in this series? I mean, it was a very real concern that we had last week.
It depends on how early Moffat Moffat and his crew were writing these scripts. Because I actually was looking through the TARDIS wiki for more like trivia and stuff for.
That's
this
true.
episode.
Yeah.
And if you look at the TARDIS wiki, Last Christmas is actually Series 9. We've mistaken and we're used to other Christmas specials being with its respective series. So even though we've already reviewed Last Christmas and lumped it with Series 8, clearly Moffat might have been already pre-writing these episodes between, actually, we haven't seen anything from Osgood. Something tells me that this is something that's popping in my head right now. If you remember Osgood, she was quote-unquote killed by Missy at the end of Series 8.
I remember.
Early on in the teasers for Series 9 that we began over the last year, there was one that said something about, like, Osgood, did she really die? It could have been the Zygon from the special that was killed or something.
Okay, so you think she's going to be the next companion?
I'm thinking with how the story started out in Series 9, I think Osgood was meant to be the companion this season until Clara changed her mind. Or Jenny Coleman changed her mind.
But they wouldn't kill her off for that. That would be strange.
Well, no.
This was after she'd been killed off, so she wasn't actually going to be dead.
Well, she's still not dead. They can still bring her back in, but something tells me with how heavy unit-wise...
that's a bit of a long shot, but you could be onto something there, because there was a lot of references to unit. There was no reference to unit in this episode, of course. Mm-hmm. With the psychic paper that was back.
Yeah, so something tells me that some of these episodes may have been written with Jenna Coleman not in them, that they quickly rewrote once she made her decision to stay.
That's a possibility I hadn't thought of. Good thinking.
Which we already talked about this, because, last Christmas would have been with the rest of the Series 9 discussion.
Yeah.
If we did it right. Which, if Moffat was already thinking up all this stuff last year around this time, and at that point in time he thought Jenna was leaving and they were planning out the series, it would make sense that some of these episodes were rewritten, which is why Clara didn't do much this episode to most people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
Honestly, I just completely thought of all of that in the last 2 minutes, but I'm
impressed. If that was done on the fly, I'm impressed, because I thought you've written it all down. You're referring to notes, and
I don't have notes anywhere. I'm being honest to God. The second you asked me how much Jenny Coleman did this episode, it triggered.
Okay. No, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. I'm ever so slightly impressed. I'm more than ever so slightly. I am quite impressed you did that on the top of your head.
Because if you think, what was the first teasers of Series 9? It was about Osgood. They were teasing Osgood again really early on to these teases that they were putting out.
And then it was revealed that she was staying.
And then Jenna was staying. And then
oh my God,
we have not seen Osgood yet.
You might be onto something. All right.
Which probably is why Series 9 started weirdly for me. Because I thought it was 2 different episodes. Why, if they completely rewrote the first half of the episode?
Oh, wow.
To rewrite Osgood out and rewrite Clara in.
Oh. Good grief.
Everything now makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's kind of blown my mind. give me a second to just recover here. What we're talking? Clara. I think we've covered all we can about Clara.
Oh yeah.
So let's talk about the Doctor then. While I get my mental faculties back, because what the hell? I think we can agree.
Radiac, if I'm dead next week, you know.
I beg your pardon. Something you're not telling me.
Let them be known my last words were "fuck Moffat."
Surely in this case it's fuck Whithouse, because he didn't write it. Toby Whithouse wrote it. Anyway, yeah, the Doctor. I thought again Peter Capaldi was fantastic.
Oh yeah, he did a great job this episode.
We've mentioned the cue card scene, which was hilarious. But the way he interacted with the crew,
which he tried to like interact with everyone, which was weird. Sometimes with the Doctor with trying to save a group of people, he only interacts with like their like hid person. But this episode, he actually had a scene with like every single member of the crew, which was actually kind of nice and refreshing. It gave everyone even though they each had like small screen times, you actually got a chunk of their story.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about the crew a bit more in depth later on, but he does try and interact with at least once with every member of the crew, with the exception of Moran, who of course is a ghost at that point, so that's not really his fault.
Well, he did have a very close moment with Moran's ghostly armor on his hearts.
And that was how he figured that they weren't actually threatening, they weren't holding onto a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Which might suggest they're not quite ghosts.
Which is, that they can pick up stuff.
I mean, we still don't quite know what's going on with the ghosts, but I'm going off on a tangent again, I'm sorry. One thing I do want to mention is, I've already said that about Clara becoming another Doctor, haven't I? There's only one room in this TARDIS for one Doctor. Yes, I have mentioned that already. The cue card scene. The way he interacts with Cass.
Sorry, I'm... Sorry.
It's fine. The way he interacts with Cass.
Cass is the...
I don't want to say it, but she's the deaf lady, yes.
Yeah, okay. Let's see, I'm not good with names.
It's fine. I want to talk about Cass later on, because I thought she was quite an interesting character. And not just because she's deaf, but the way he interacts with Cass I like very much, because he asks who's in charge, and she's about to say it's her, and then asshole Pritchard interrupts. He's like, I understand, you're an idiot. That's Peter Capaldi in one line, surely. He's acting in one line. He's like, what are you doing down here? There's a lot of financial potential. I understand, you're an idiot. And then, of course, the idiot gets killed.
No, because he was an idiot that decided to...
Because he was greedy!
He went to go look for the other power core that was apparently inside the ship that, could teleport any ship across the...
And let's be honest, we knew he was going to die because they showed him as a ghost in the trailer from last week.
Oh... I haven't been watching trailers. Thanks! God! Oh.
That was from last week. You've seen the episode.
Well, some of the episodes I've been seeing were very done with very illegal methods that may have cut some things out from the end. I mean...
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Only like 50 people watch this anyway. You're absolutely fine. You may want to mute your microphone when we get to talking about the Next Time trailer at the end of this review. But...
Oh, no. I saw the Next Time trailer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought Capaldi was fantastic again. Mind you, I am one of the world's biggest Peter Capaldi as the Doctor fans right now, so I am going to say that.
Oh, yeah. No,
but he just gets it. He just gets acting. He just gets this incarnation of the Doctor. There really isn't much more that can be said about him.
Because this incarnation of the Doctor is basically him, just, he's...
Turned up to 11?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just it. And I think Capaldi, as we've discussed, is like the biggest Doctor Who fan ever. He was part of a fan club when he was 6.
He was a huge fan, yes, growing up.
So, I mean, half the reason why some of these shows do very well, and some, movies do very well in these days of age is because the people who are running them are big fans. Half the reason why, all the Marvel movies that are out now do so great was all the directors read the comics when they were growing up.
Yeah.
I think give it like another 10 years, video game movies will finally hit that level of being actually good instead of a cash-in. So, Capaldi, which, one of my arguments why I think, Ben Affleck's going to be a good Batman, because Ben Affleck's probably read every single Batman comic 10 times over. Same reason why Peter Capaldi is such a great doctor. He's probably seen every single episode since he was a kid, especially the ones that no one can find now.
I think also the reason why I like him so much is because, I've alluded to it before, he's such a breath of fresh air.
Oh, yeah.
As the Doctor. So, there's that. We have to talk about the crew a little bit, because usually a strong episode has a strong supporting cast. It sort of had half and half in this episode. Like, one or two of the supporting cast weren't very strong at all, and then one or two were very strong.
But every single part of the supporting cast this episode was more than just a name and a victim. They each had their own story.
Well, with the exception of the rich asshole.
The rich asshole had his story. He was a rich asshole. He was a rich asshole that started this whole thing, that brought this alien on board the ship, and because he wanted more money, he died.
Yeah, that's basically his character arc in a nutshell.
The Deaf Lady is the second command.
She's the strongest character of them all, so let's skip over Cass for now. I think his name is Bennett. That kind of shows you how strong of a character he is. The bloke with the glasses.
The science guy.
Yeah, the science guy.
He is the one that, at the start of the episode, kept on wanting to say alien, which this was 2114, and, if everyone knows units, everyone then knows there are aliens out there, which I thought was kind of weird.
Yeah, I did like the scene at the end, well, towards the end, where the Doctor's saying, like, you should all leave now, I want you to go. But a tiny party's going to wonder what would happen if you stayed. And
he's like, well, this is alien.
Well, it's ghosts, isn't it? I've got to stay.
Oh, yeah, it's ghosts. And, yeah. So, even though I think we might get more of his story in the next episode.
Well, he is going to be in it. And probably in it somewhat prominently, because he's with the Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
As is O'Donnell. Now, to me, O'Donnell kind of came across as Osgood Light. It's funny you mentioned Osgood.
Yeah. Something tells me that we might have another Journey Blue situation on our hands at the end of the next episode with...
You're obsessed with goddamn Journey Blue!
I think she would have been a great third companion! Ah!
We know. But, hey, look at it this way. Technically speaking, the Doctor's got temporary companions. How temporary they are might depend on if they get to live the next 45 minutes next week. But he's got temporary one-time companions. But yeah, she was a bit of a Doctor fangirl. She served her purpose. She was a technical person.
She was the one that saved them at least once.
Yeah, I quite liked her exchange with the Doctor, where it was like, you did a good job putting the base into day mode. So, it's nothing really. Good. Now put it back into night.
What?
And then the other two members of the crew. Sorry.
To talk about that, the ghosts could only operate while this base was in night mode. Even though it wasn't actually night outside, that's the only way the ghosts could operate.
Yeah, which again suggests they're not ghosts, but carry on.
1 second. So the reason why she saved them all was they were about ready to get, slaughtered by the ghosts, and she activated morning mode, and it made them disappear.
Yeah, he picked up Pritchard's ghost picked up a chair. We'll just call him Ghost for now because it's so much easier.
Mm-hmm.
He picked up a chair. He's about to throw it or smash him with it, and then she turns the base to day mode and he disappears, leaving the chair drop to the ground.
Which adds to the mystery: why are they only able to move around when the base is in night mode, and there's also one area of the base that they can't enter.
Well, they did somewhat explain that because in night mode the electromagnetic systems are turned off, and that seems to enable the ghosts to come and go as they please. So maybe there's something to do with electromagnetic pulses. I don't know. And the Faraday cage, as they called it, which is a real thing, not like that, but it's a real thing where you can't be hit by electricity. That had the was able to contain them basically. It's a bit like, I don't know if you watched The Flash.
Yeah, I've seen The Flash.
They have cells in The Flash where they put the people in after they've beaten them and they can't get out.
Yeah.
It's a bit like that. And as far as we know, the ghosts right now are still in there at the end of the episode.
Good thing the female scientist doesn't have to go get them burgers every night.
What?
Oh, you didn't see that, Flash, deleted scene?
Oh, yeah, no, sorry. I thought we were still in Doctor Who. I was like, did I blink and miss a line of dialogue? No.
No. You brought the Flash, I brought the deleted scene. It's all good.
It's fine. It's fine. And then the most strong member of the cast by far is Cass, along with her interpreter Lun.
Which is kind of weird because most military, I guess, they've advanced at this point in 2100. But most military, half the reason why I was never able to in the military is I'm half deaf.
Yeah.
And yeah. But, it's kind of weird, but at the same time she's also the smartest person in the base aside from the doctor.
Yeah, it's just something like every time I leave the room you're the smartest person left or something.
Yeah,
which coming from the doctor is high respect. Oh
yeah. Because she notices things, and she actually knows how her mind reacted to the sigils inside the ship, which translate to the sword, the
sword, the star, the Forsaken, the temple.
Yeah,
I think
something like that. Basically, that's what the ghosts are whispering, and it's actually a distress signal. Basically, whatever alien's in there wants as many people dead as possible so the signal can broadcast out for a rescue for this alien.
Yeah, exactly. And because she's deaf, she can read what they're saying.
Yeah.
Because she spends her whole life reading sign language. So that actually is the reason why the deaf character exists. It's not just, we need to have a token deaf person in there.
No.
And it's not just because they cast a deaf actress. They did actually cast a deaf actress, but Toby Whithouse gave an interview, and he was always going to have the character of Cass be deaf.
Yeah. As I said, I'm half deaf growing up, and I had a hard time speaking and communicating whenever I was a kid. My mom used to read my lips whenever it was just me and her, or if someone couldn't understand me, I talked directly to my mom, and she read my lips, and she relayed what I was trying to say. So, I understood that whole scene with those things on Capaldi's face. And the ghosts. Because she was trying to read their lips to find out what they were repeating over and over again.
Yeah. I like the fact you've skipped over the things on Capaldi's face. Thanks for that. We'll let you have your moment in the sun momentarily. And then she's also got her interpreter who is Lun. He's basically there just to interpret what she's saying.
And he also tells her what everyone else is saying. Yes.
Now, somebody online brought up a very interesting point: is why couldn't the TARDIS translate Cass's sign language?
Because it's not sound.
For the Doctor and Clara. Yeah, I thought it's because it wasn't. It's not written, neither spoken language, so it couldn't translate it. Although apparently in the past there's been an eyebrow wiggling language that the TARDIS was able to translate, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. But Lund does have a purpose other than translating, of course, because he helps the Doctor solve the mystery of why the ghosts are going after Pacific people. Because he actually gets cornered by a ghost. The ghost in the wetsuit, and you think, oh well, here comes another death, and it doesn't happen. And it's not until later you realise it doesn't happen. It took me a second watch to get it. He didn't see the symbols on the wall.
So he can't relay...
Yeah, so he's worthless to them, dead. And that's because of Cass, because Cass says stay out. So she's protective over him, and she's protective over her crew to the point that she says, you can do your whole cabin in the woods thing, but my responsibility is to protect my crew.
Am I the only one that's weird that cabin in the woods is going to be a thing 200 years, 100 and some years from now?
No, that was a bit of a strange reference. We also got Ghostbusters, which
by then it'll be on their 17th reboots. To some kids.
It's not the first time that's been referenced, so that was fine. But yeah, it's a bit of a niche reference, but it didn't really bother me too much.
Yeah, whenever he brought that up, I was like, man, they must have a very obscure movie night. Oh, this is a classic from the 21st century.
But my point is that last time we had a character with a quote unquote disability, which was back in Kat, Forest of the Night.
It was done horribly.
It was done horribly, and it got a lot of criticism. And this time around, there's still been some criticism, namely the whole, why couldn't you just translate the sign language for them? But there was a line about it was pushed out of the Doctor's memory for semaphore or something, but that was just nonsense.
I must have deleted it for something.
For semaphore, which is like flags.
Mm.
You use flags to communicate, but so that was a bit odd. But no, I thought props to them for including a disabled. Can I say that disabled character?
No, you can say disabled
in the right way.
There's words. There's every as I said, I'm not like fully.
It wasn't just like Whithouse was like, we need to tick a box and let's have a deaf character to make this right. She actually had a purpose to serve, and she wasn't just character that's deaf. She was.
She's
sassy,
still their leader.
She's sassy, protective boss lady who happens to be deaf.
Yeah.
So that's good.
And she's also the smartest person aside from the Doctor.
I've always Fresno pointed out, the black dude died first.
Of course. No, wait. If you want to be more specific, the white dude that has all the fucking what did they call him? The mole.
We don't know anything about him. We know he's going to show up alive later on.
Well, because they're in the past.
But we don't know anything about this guy.
So technically, he died first.
Yeah, but on camera, because actually he didn't show up until Moran got toasted.
No. He showed up before Moran got toasted.
Yes, he did, because that's how they saw him. Sorry, I was misremembering.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think
they did the whole the person closed the cabinet thing, and the mole guy's reflection was there, and then the rich dude was messing around the ship, and the old guy jump scared him, and that's when. I love how I just
call him the rich dude now. When he might, all I know, he may not have been very rich. I think he was like the vice president of the petrol company, so I suppose he'd have to be quite rich.
Oh yeah.
But I think we talked enough about the cast. As I say, Toby Whithouse is always very good with dialogue, and this was no exception.
However, I do feel like they did a lot. They probably put too much on the references.
There might have been too much heavily on references, yes. They might have relied too much on references. I don't mind it, but I'm not everybody. So I can understand.
Yeah. Like something, it was feeling like one of the, there's another show called Supernatural, it parodies itself live. When it parodies itself, that's when they do like 1,000 references in one episode. This wasn't as bad as that, but I think if they're going to do like a parody episode of themselves where they want to do like references like that cue cards or what did he these are not like reanimated bodies. These are not like the autons, the living flesh, the referencing or the people in the necrosphere. The
Neversphere, but yes.
Neversphere.
Yeah, there was a lot of references to the show's past. I personally like that because it's got a lot of history to mine into. But I can see why that would upset some people.
Yeah, well, I didn't say it was upsetting. I just thought it was too heavily focused.
Speaking of upsetting people, I think we have to mention this because it's an elephant in the room otherwise. The Doctor's Sonic.
Plastic $5 piece of crap that's on his face.
The Sonic sunglasses.
Basically, it was announced that the Doctor gave up his screwdriver. The screwdriver, which in the previous, 100-odd stories since 2005, the doctor has taken good care of to the point where he's actually gone back and risked his life to get it back. There's a scene in the science library. I will never give up my screwdriver. Why does she have my screwdriver? Etc.
Yeah, okay. So you're going to go for inconsistency of writing again.
Which is,
that's a drum.
specialty.
That's a drum you like to bang. See what I did there? Drum. Set the drum. Thank you very much indeed. Not like that, but that works too. Yeah, all right. I see. I see where you're coming from.
There was an interview. Moffat said, "Why is he wedded to the screwdriver?" Make a story why he's wedded to the screwdriver.
Oh, you've been doing your homework because I was about to mention that. You've intercepted me before I can bring that up. Yeah,
I even said the Skype chat last night.
Yeah, Fresno mentioned it as well, but that's why I was.
But the thing is, he, like, as a storyteller, the Silence in the Library is Moffat's doing, where he did the line, "Why I will never give up my screwdriver. Why does she have my screwdriver?" Where okay. You say to yourself, Moffat, why is he wedded to the screwdriver? Instead of replacing the screwdriver, make up some story explaining why. Like sneak it into an episode or something.
But Kuchiri, two things. One, this probably isn't going to last more than a series.
Yeah, because everyone's already too angry about it, that there's already a petition.
Oh, that's ridiculous. 650 signatures.
Which could grow, which is probably growing. It's probably more than that
For
now.
one thing, this series has already been entirely filmed, so you're not going to get it back this series unless he's brought it back earlier in the run, or later in the run, I should say.
Yeah.
And for another, my second point is why? Why bother? It's a TV show.
Well, it's a TV show that decided to also break another rule. They put out last series. Whenever they revealed the Doctor's new outfit, do you remember what Capaldi said about it?
Oh no. Go on.
Virgin has woven the future from the cloth of the past, simple, stark, and back to basics. No frills, no scarves, no messing, just 100% Rebel Time Lord.
Oh god.
Basically, Capaldi had the charm to his Dr. 12 outfit, other than his, red lining, which I was, is the fact that he has no gimmick. There's no fez, there's no leak, there's no 3D glasses.
Oh my god, you're right.
Now that they've given him a gimmick to link to him, they're going back on what his outfit was meant to be.
But you call it a gimmick. And I can understand the glasses not being for everybody. As I say, I personally don't mind them, and Fresno and Kat don't seem to mind them either. In this episode, they were on screen for all 20 seconds.
Yeah.
They weren't used for a huge amount of resolution of the plot. He was just using them to link to the relay so Cass could see what the ghost was saying. That, to me, is sensible. Could he do that
Which they could have done any other way.
Couldn't do it with a screwdriver.
Yeah, no. He could have had some sort of elder sunglasses, pull out the screwdriver, put it back in less than 5 seconds. Okay, these things are going to be on my head. You'll see what they're saying. I just bumped my mic. No, but he could have brought out the freaking helmet from the space episode if they wanted to do a callback. To,
I'm not going to win this argument. I concede. I'm not going to win this argument, but they were not used at all, apart from 20 seconds in this episode.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's just they're trying to give him a scarf. They're trying to give him a fez. They're trying to give him a gimmick.
But do you not realise that by giving him, we'll use your term and call it a gimmick, by using the sunglasses, it's actually limiting the amount he can use the Sonic, which is what I've always wanted. I don't want the Sonic to just become this magical solves everything plot device as it was starting to become.
Which it wasn't that bad in Series 8. I don't think he used
Series
it that
8
much.
It wasn't that bad. In Series before that, yes it was.
But the thing is, Smith used it as a multi-tool. Basically, he was using his device that, other doctors, whenever they come out, they used to, know everything about the planet. But if you remember, Smith was very forgetful.
I think we could debate this point about the sonic screwdriver versus the sonic sunglasses for hours, but I don't think we should do that. In fact, I know we shouldn't do that.
They could have done it like they did in Series 1, where each episode had one very specific use for the screwdriver.
All right,
and it was
that I will concede.
But the thing is, Smith used his, not just to get out stuff, he used it to recon. He used it to tell him about the planet because he forgot a lot about other planets.
All right.
If you remember, what happened to almost every single time he walked out the TARDIS, he pulled it out, had it scan the area, and then he closed it, and then all of a sudden he knew about the planet.
Yeah.
I mean, he needed it more because he was forgetful.
Okay.
That's my thing.
All right. I do think we should move on. I'm not dismissing your points. I think you've got some good points there. But I think for the sake of brevity and for the sake of the review, we should probably move on to the ending. To the last 10 minutes or last 5 minutes?
Yeah.
And the cliffhanger, which was kind of abrupt. So he figures out. Sorry, go on.
It felt like more that they were going to make this episode a little longer and explain more that was going on, but they were told to cut short a little bit. I got that feeling.
Question: did you know going in this was a two-parter?
I got the feeling whenever it wasn't revealed what the aliens were 40 minutes into the episode.
So you thought it was from that point on?
Yeah, whenever...
Because I did know it was a two-parter. Fresno didn't know until he went to DVR it, and it actually said in the description part 1 of 2. Other people had no idea that this was a two-parter, so it was really surprising that we got two-parters in a row.
Because I think this only happened... Did Series 3 do this?
No, it did not.
Okay.
No, you had the Daleks of Manhattan, Evolution of the Daleks. Then there was a couple of episodes in between. Then the two-parter Family of Blood, Human Nature. I may have reversed those 2 parts. And then, of course, the 3-parter Utopia, Sound of Drums, and Last of the Time Lords.
But I think an episode ended with a cliffhanger opening up the 3-parter.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. But there's no consecutive two-parters.
I try to put Series 3 like.
As far as I know, that's. I can understand that. I mean, I will go to bat for parts of Series 3, but I can understand that entirely. But yeah, consecutive two-parters. Don't think we've had it in modern series anyway. But anyway, they figure out that these symbols are not actually a language, so that's why the TARDIS can't translate it. So that's a nice bonus there.
Mm-hmm.
And as I say, it's like the sword, the star, the Forsaken, the temple. If I'm getting that wrong, then I apologise. And then out of nowhere, the base starts flooding.
Because, well, did they explain why?
Yeah, because the number one priority is to keep the reactor safe.
Yeah, and the ghosts were messing with the reactor or something.
The ghosts were somehow messing with the reactor inside the Faraday cage. Design flaw there. But I guess that's so they could actually operate the base, while they were safe in their little room.
Mm-hmm.
But it backfired anyway. So they start flooding the base, and we then have a separation. So the Doctor and O'Donnell, and is it Bennett again?
The
scientist glasses man. Yeah, they get through. But Cass, Lum, and Clara do not.
They're stuck on 2 sides of the ship. The TARDIS is on the side of the ship the Doctor is.
Yeah, and we have another shot, which I think is another homage to a previous episode, like 42, where Clara's on one side of the glass, and the Doctor's saying, "I'll come back and I'll save you."
Mm-hmm.
And it's like when sorry to bring up Series 3 again, but in 42, when Martha's about to get jettisoned out into space, and she's screaming at the Doctor from the glass of the escape pod, and he says, "I'll save you."
I think we could dissect this episode and link it to any other space station / water station / Waters of Mars episode, and basically see that this is just a rewrite of all those episodes.
It is a bit unoriginal, but I still enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Because it's classic Doctor Who, but it is a bit unoriginal, but I don't think you can hold back.
It's classic New Who.
Oh, no. Based on the Siege is classic Old Who as well. I mean, we haven't got Fresno to tell us about these things, but it's also an archetype of Old Who as well.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, that's the first thing that happens. The Doctor gets off in the TARDIS with the other 2 crew members.
Then they go back to the past, because if they figure out what's in the temple...
We don't see what happens there. That's going to be in the next episode. But then we have our sting for our cliffhanger. Another ghost appears.
And, well, no, this actually happens after something very ironic. Oh, he's the Doctor. He's going to do this, and he'll be right back. He does this all the time.
Yeah, and then Clara looks out the window, another ghost, and oh dear.
It's the Doctor.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Now, the thing about this cliffhanger, also nice a cappella of the theme there. The thing about this cliffhanger, we know he isn't actually dead.
Yeah.
So the impact of this is a bit lessened.
So they're not ghosts, but you have to die.
We think you have to die. However, me and Fresno got a theory on this. Do you remember that thing that they're trying to open?
Mm-hmm.
The box, and said the pilot's inside, but we can't open it. It's deadlock sealed.
The Doctor's actually inside it.
The Doctor's in it, because the TARDIS is freaking out earlier in the episode.
Because there's 2 Doctors
and the Doctor just says, "Oh, it's an abomination. Ghosts are abomination. They shouldn't exist. The TARDIS doesn't like it." Well, why would the cloister bell go off for ghosts? It doesn't make sense. So I think he's crossed his own timeline, and he's in the box.
Yeah.
And it also explains why the bell's not going. Oh no, actually, it wouldn't be going because he's taken the TARDIS away at that point. Never mind. I was trying to be too clever for my own good. I honestly thought I thought at one point it wasn't going to be the Doctor's ghost that we saw. I thought it was going to be Clara.
No, then that would be something kind of like from the end of Series 5.
But yeah, but the constantly being confronted by your own ghost is creepy as hell.
Yeah, but hasn't Clara died too many times?
Has the Doctor died too many times? They've both died quite a few times, or nearly died.
I think Clara takes the cake though, because she actually
dies. Yes,
like
her echoes.
Apparently, if you take the end of Series 7. She's actually, every single time the Doctor's almost died in the last, 50 years, she was there to stop it, and probably that
died in his place?
Yep.
Oh dear. Yeah, but interesting cliffhanger. It's it kind of, the suddenness of it was a bit jarring with the quick change of tone. We're going from like, oh, we found out what the ghosts are after, and then, oh, the base is flooding, let's get out of here.
And then, yeah, something tells me there might have been like an extra. Like there's a line in the next time, which...
You think it might have been cut for time constraints?
Yeah, there's a line where the Doctor says something like, "I'm already dead." Which, if he probably brought that up, like maybe if there was like a scene where they got off the TARDIS to where before that area got flooded, because it was apparently some sort of sea that got flooded by a dam breaking.
Yeah.
Like, if he got back there and he realized what's going on, and maybe they added like O'Donnell or Science Guy was like, I'm horrible with names, was like,
Science Guy's fine. As long as we don't call him Bill Nye, we're absolutely fine.
Well, he goes, well, like, what if there's like a scene where the Doctor walks out and he realizes something, they're like, oh, what's wrong? And he goes, oh, I'm already dead. And then they cut to the scene where...
Yeah, maybe there was something missing. Maybe we'll come back to that next week. But speaking of next week, the story continues. Actually, before we get to that, what was your overall opinion of this episode on its own?
It was a decent episode. I had no real complaints about it, other than
the sonic sunglasses.
Other than the sonic sunglasses and the references. Like, I'm cool with like 1 or 2 references, like how Series 5 did, where there was like one reference hidden in every episode,
But that was your only problems with it?
Yeah. And other than that, I also didn't think it was that like outstanding of an episode.
I'm pleasantly surprised at that. Mm-hmm. For my part, I think it reminded me a lot of episodes like Impossible Planet and 42 and Cold War and The Waters of Mars. We mentioned that already.
Yeah.
But certain scenes seem to be directly influenced by these episodes. Mm-hmm. Which is fine. I mean, the show's been going on over 50 years. It's inevitable some repeats are going to start creeping in.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was good. I thought the pacing was pretty good on rewatch. First watch, I wasn't too pleased. Watched it again, and I enjoyed it a lot more.
It was better than a lot of stuff from the last couple series, though. Like,
I think if we hadn't had the episodes from the last 2 weeks that were amazing, people would be looking at this in a much better light.
I honestly want to know what the original right of this episode actually would have been.
And I appreciate the fact that it's completely different from the sort of bombastic series opening, where lots of things at stake, the world's at stake, and the Daleks and all that. We go back to a very different style of episode. It's all dialed back. There's a threat there, but they're not as deadly as the Daleks because they're not a threat all the time. It's more of a mystery episode until we get to the final 5 minutes where suddenly the base starts flooding. Which, as I said, was a bizarre tonal shift, but it was good. I think it was pretty good. And
now that I'm thinking about it, what if Capaldi triggered the flood?
Could also happen. I think we're going to have to wait till next week, though, to get the answers. And speaking of that, next time we have Before the Flood. And the next time trailer is quite interesting. We've got a Dr. Ghost that we saw harassing, is it Lon?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lon. But again, he's safe, we think.
Well, of course, or else,
Unless the ghost purpose changes suddenly, he isn't safe, but that's speculation. One thing I am worried about is I'm very concerned about O'Donnell.
Which is why I'm saying we may have another Journey Blue situation.
She is nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
The other guy, the guy we didn't see fit to give a name, Bennett. He's in it.
Names.
He's in it quite prominently. O'Donnell, I think, is seen in the beginning where it's just like the three of them together, and then not seen again. I hope that doesn't mean what I think it means, but I think it means what I think it means.
I'm actually going to pull through for the everyone lives at the end kind of story. Something tells me that this may be one of those everyone survives.
Well, they haven't already.
Well, we don't know yet.
Other interesting things, though, that we will meet the mole guy. To give his name from the credits, it was Prentice, played by Paul Kaye. We'll see him for the first time.
Not dead.
And I am quite excited about the idea of a story where you've got the Doctor in the past, and you've got his actions directly affecting what happens to his companion in the future. That's fascinating.
Which has been done a couple times.
Yeah. But it should be interesting to see where it goes, and I'm really not sure where it's going to go next. And again, that's no bad thing.
Yeah.
But I think that'll do it for this week. So thank you very much to my guest Kuchiri for joining me.
Mm-hmm. And
we'll whichever one of us it is next time. We've already said it'd probably be Kuchiri and Fresno on their own, but
we're actually following who attended what last year. That's what we're doing. We're following that.
You damn liar! It's a coincidence, and you know it. But whoever it is,
damn good coincidence.
Whoever it is, will be here next week to review before the flood.
Follow the lights!
Before the flood. And we'll see you then. Until next time, bye for now. Should I count us in?
Go for it.
Oh boy, what have I let myself in for?
Hey. I'll go gentle. It's our second time.
Please do. Why do I allow you to talk?
Because your assassins keep failing.
Why? I hope you know this is all going in the outtakes.
I'll allow it.
Good, because you haven't got a choice. Right. Give me a second to get my composure back. God damn it. Let this not be like the first week when I couldn't continue because... God damn it, I nearly corpsed at the end there.
What if the ghost went gold?
What Richard died in Scrooge McDuck's money bin. It's like, what if the ghost for gold? That's the law of the night.
No, in reality, at the very end, the doctor cuts off the head of one of the ghosts, and he turns out to be a robot.
Just stop, you. You've done enough for one night.